Hi, it's Pete and Reed, and we're usually about a lot of fun in our shows, and
Usually.
getting information from guests and finding out about their life. And this is a real life story, and it's something that you and I had to get involved in. Both animal lovers.
Well, as soon as we watched it, I mean, I cried. It's just incredibly sad for all these owners and this so-called doctor. We won't call him that. We'll just call him Mr. Reiki.
Yeah, or just Reiki, right?
Yeah.
And we're of course talking about the vet at. We're standing right out in front of his office, the Skyway Animal Hospital in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And this is a story for everybody around the world who takes their animals and believes in the care they're getting from their vets. And of course, here in Ontario, their jurisdiction, they're under the College of Veterinarians, and they have imposed a penalty on them, which, in my opinion, isn't anywhere near what this man should be getting.
He was abusing animals, abusing dogs, cats, and he got caught. And they know it. And it took from 2014 to 2015 for them to even charge him. And then it took another year for it to take effect. So he's been with these animals. No one's known about it for 2 years. The College of Veterinarians knew about it, and they still let him practice. And now he's not practicing, but he's got, what, 10 months?
Yeah.
10 months and $10,000.
And then if he goes to a course, he can be back in December, which is 4 months from now. And as you can see, people have been honking, okay? And I can tell you, since we've had our cameras set up on the property, that's what's been happening the entire time.
Yeah.
We've done interviews with people. You know what? I got to tell you, there's a petition, just to tell you how serious this is and how fired up people are. There's a petition online regarding the Skyway Animal Hospital in St. Catharines against Dr. Reiki and against him getting his license back.
Yeah.
Now, 5 days ago, I looked at that petition. They were going for 10,000 people. It was at 8,477. As of today, when I just left before we came down here, 44,000 people have signed that petition.
Right on. That's amazing. And keep going, because he should never get his license back.
You know what's going to happen is he's going to leave St. Catharines. He may leave Ontario. He may go to the U.S. I'm telling you, watch for him down there. We're going to put a picture of him. We have a picture of him. He's going to go under a different name, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty hard to find out who Dr. Smith is, because there's all kinds of them everywhere, and I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes Dr. Smith. He has to lose his license.
He does. And the College of Veterinarians has to be held accountable for not letting the animal rights groups and people like that know about this so that they could protect the animals. He should be charged criminally. This is a criminal act, and he should be charged with that. And hopefully
jail time for sure.
Jail time. I can't believe that they didn't go to the police right away with this and say, hey, charge him, do something.
Yeah, the college should have went to the police. And the other thing that concerns me with the college is they consider this a severe punishment. I consider it a slap on the paw, and that's exactly what it was. What the animals, you get a little slap on the paw. Okay?
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's disgusting. Now, we've had an opportunity, and when we come back, we are going to talk to some people who have had experience with Dr. Reiki. We're going to talk to people that
are animal lovers.
They just wanted to come down and support, and you could hear them clapping in the background. So when we're back on the Pete and Reed Show, we've got some real serious stuff for you to look at, and we're going to try, and I didn't want to see it at first, was the video. We'll get some of that video, and we'll put it in there. It's
shocking, so you'll see exactly what he did.
When we return on the Pete and Reed Show. It's Pete and Reed, and we've been covering the story here at Skyway Animal Hospital, a disgusting story, and one that we talked about on the Friday wrap. And you know what, we had enough. We had to come down here, and as we were down here setting up, Natalie came by. Natalie, thank you so much for stopping by here.
Thank you for having me.
Taking the time. You know what? You took your dog here, right?
Yes, I did.
And you feel what happened was just crazy?
Absolutely. My mind is boggled right now because she had a seizure, but she was still very healthy dog, active,
How
eating.
old?
She was 6 years old.
Young pup.
Absolutely. Very full of life. I brought her here for a seizure. They put her on some seizure medication. I didn't feel like the medication was working, so I brought her back. He did the blood work, and then He said, keep her on that medication. It will work in a few weeks from now. So a couple days after the second time I brought her here, she was very sick. She was puking and stuff like that. So when I brought her, she was lifeless. And he said, she looked at her and said, that doesn't look good. She has liver failure.
And this is a Chihuahua Jack Russell, so I mean they got lots of energy.
They do, and especially she had a life-threatening disease when she was younger called parvo, and she fought through that. So I know my animal is a fighter. I don't feel that he took the blood test, or maybe there could have been more that was done. Money's not the issue. I just wanted my animal helped. And a couple days after he took the blood test, like I said, when I came back here after her getting sick, he said that she had liver failure, and that same day she passed away.
Now you also had taken your dog to Niagara College?
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay, and what happened there?
Well, so when I went there, she was lifeless. They brought her in the room right away. They told me what tests they were going to be doing on her. The one test was for her liver. She came out of the room and said that she had to do that test twice because the reading, she could not read the reading because the level was so high. So I asked what went wrong. I said, was it the medication that she was on? She said, absolutely not. So I feel that he did not even do the blood work. Maybe he seen something that I didn't see and said, okay, well, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna do the testing, and maybe he just took my money and didn't even do the blood work. I have no idea.
Did you get charged for the blood work?
I absolutely did get charged for the blood work. Absolutely, yes. For a healthy dog, 6 years old, and then 2 weeks later, 2.5 weeks later, my dog's lifeless and dead.
And he told you that there was no liver problem when you came in here?
Yes, he absolutely said her organs are perfectly strong, they're fine. So how does this happen after 2 weeks? My dog is dead.
Well, Natalie, we're so sorry to hear that, and we're so glad that you stopped by while we were here.
Thank
so
you.
we can continue getting this story out to the people out there.
Thank you
We're
for your
gonna
time.
fight for you.
Thank you.
More on this special with Pete and Reed on the Skyway Animal Hospital ordeal.
My experience with Dr. Reiki was we shopped for a vet when we got my dog Marley, and he came highly recommended. Dr. Reiki has treated her for 3 years, and then I brought her in for an emergency x-ray. He took her for the x-ray, and he came back without her and complained that she had almost bitten him, and told me that if he had restrained her leg any longer, he would have broken it. Then I heard that there may be abuse going on with Dr. Reiki through sources, and I pulled her out. I had made the decision not to bring her here any longer. And then I got a call last June from the College of Veterinarians reporting to me that Dr. Reiki was being charged with animal abuse with my Molly, and they had her name. Molly now lives with an issue with her tail, and I live with apologizing to Molly every day. I want this vet to lose his license completely, and I don't know. I would like to meet Dr. Reiki on the street, and I want him to explain to me how he could abuse my dog and the dogs in the video. It's horrific. It is. He needs to go to jail.
These are our animals. These are our family. These are our pets. I can't imagine anything happening to them. I cried. I was angry. I can't believe the way the whole situation is being treated. I can't believe he still has a license. I don't understand why no one came forward long ago. I'm so furious. If I seen this man, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. Dr. Reiki should never have a license. He should never practice ever. He shouldn't practice in any place within Canada, the States, anywhere. He should be stricken of all his license. It should be revoked.
I'm an animal lover. I don't go to this clinic, but it's something that these are innocents. And when a gentleman takes an oath to take care, because these are family, and the fact that he was abusing people the animals behind closed doors is a violation of not only the animal, but to the trust of the owners. And I know that the owners, I would be mortified if my girl had been abused the way that, I saw in the video. As far as the college finding that the 10 months is enough, severe enough, I don't believe that. I find that to be a vet, you have to love animals. To me, that should be your number one concern, why you get into becoming a vet. And obviously, if he can't control his anger or his issues, then there is something seriously wrong. 10 months I don't believe is enough. Do I feel that he should get his license back? No. He's proven over and over again, from the stories that I've heard, that he's been in practice for a number of years, and that this behavior of his has been going on for a number of years, that I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust my animal behind closed doors with him, and I don't think people who love animals and love as they do, no.
I came down here to support Pete and Reet with their dedication to animals. It's so important that this Dr. Reiki, he lose his license. He cannot be left alone with animals. He is an abuser, and I can't see ever changing that, and you just cannot take the chance. These dogs are family members, and he's using his position of trust and abusing that and using these animals. That has to stop. When I heard the story and it first came on Facebook and I saw the video, I was sick to my stomach. Again, a doctor in a position of authority to abuse that position and abuse animals, they are unable to speak for themselves. And we have to speak up for these animals. If it had been my dog, like my girlfriend Janice's dog, if it was Maya that I'd gotten a call, I don't know how I would have reacted, because this is unacceptable for a doctor in a position of authority to abuse that authority. That cannot be tolerated, and a strong message needs to go out to absolutely any abuser that is found, any individual in any place of authority. If you abuse animals, if you abuse children, you will no longer have that authority by any governing body anywhere in Canada.
I really think it's important that the community, in all communities, to report any suspicion or knowledge of abuse or neglect, and continue to do so as soon as you suspect. I am appalled at what I've read in the media about how this has been handled through the Ontario College of Veterinarians. I don't understand. I think if any one of us was charged with cruelty to animals, we'd never ever be able to own an animal, let alone treat them in the future. This gentleman should not have a license. He should not be able to benefit with earning money to be involved in anything to do with animal care. And I hope personally that the charges fit the crime, because it's a terrible, terrible crime, and it should not be tolerated in any community.
It's Pete and Reet here at the Skyway Animal Hospital in St. Catharines. Unbelievable that we could be here. And these poor people behind us, animal lovers and people that have had their animals abused by this Dr. Reiki, have to be here. That he could do this to these animals is beyond me.
Yeah, I want to applaud all you people for coming out here. It's a work
Absolutely.
day, midweek. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this. And you see it. You deserve a break today, Doc, in jail. And I agree with that 100%. his license has to be pulled, and everybody's got to get behind it. I know, we put this out to at least 10,000 people, okay?
Yeah.
And you get a crowd like this, which is great that they came here during workday, but you got to get everybody together. You've got to get on and sign the petition. They're at 44,000. We got to put that to 100,000 to make sure this guy never gets his license back.
You got to make the government accountable for what their actions are. And this doctor, he got let go, as far as I'm concerned, scot-free.
Yep. And I guess he was telling people during the trial that he's going to school to learn how to be better with animals and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, we talked to people who wouldn't come on camera because they were bashful. Some really, really sad and upsetting stories. A 3-year-old cat that when the doc came out and said, this cat is acting strange, you've got to come in. And the cat was just a docile, wonderful animal, wouldn't even let the owner pick it up. So this guy's a monster. He has to be stopped. And the Pete and Reed Show had to be a part of this. 'Cause
Exactly.
we love animals. And we know, you know what? Animals are a part of your family. They're just like your
They
children.
are your family.
Yeah.
There's no difference to me. They're, my sons, my grandparents, my mother, my father, my pets. They're my family. They're not just a pet.
And I'll leave you with this. You didn't come down today, but come down here on October 1st, right on Welland Avenue. It's off the highway across from Walmart in St. Catharines. It's the Skyway Animal Hospital, as you can see. Come down here for 11:30, October 1st until 2 in the afternoon, and they're going to protest this doctor with any chance of getting his license back.
We need to get a lot of people involved so that they they will have to revoke his license forever.
From St. Catharines at the Skyway Animal Hospital, it's Pete and Reed.
Thanks so much, guys.
And should be getting.
He was abusing animals, abusing dogs, cats, and he got caught. And they know it. And it took from 2014 to 2015 for them to even charge him. And then it took another year for it to take effect. So he's been with these animals. No one's known about it for 2 years. The College of Veterinarians knew about it, and they still let him practice. And now he's not practicing, but he's got, 10 months?
Yeah.
10 months and $10,000.
And then if he goes to a course, he can be back in December, which is 4 months from now. And as you can see, people have been honking, okay? And I can tell you, since we've had our cameras set up on the property, that's what's been happening the entire time.
Yeah.
We've done interviews with people. You know what? I got to tell you, there's a petition, just to tell you how serious this is and how fired up people are. There's a petition online regarding the Skyway Animal Hospital in St. Catharines against Dr. Ecke and against him getting his license back.
Yeah.
Now, 5 days ago, I looked at that petition. The college should have went to the police, and the other thing that concerns me with the college is they consider this a severe punishment. I consider it a slap on the paw,
It's
and that's
totally.
exactly what it was. What the animals, you get a little slap on the paw. Okay?
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's disgusting. Now, we've had an opportunity, and when we come back, we are going to talk to some people who have had experience with Dr. Ecke. We're going to talk to people that
Our animal lovers.
they just wanted to come down and support, and you could hear them clapping in the background. So when we're back on the Pete and Reed Show, we've got some real serious stuff we look at, and we're going to try, and I didn't want to see it at first, was the video, but we'll get some of that video, and we'll put it in there and you
It's
know what?
shocking, so you'll see exactly what he did.
When we return on the Pete and Reed Show. It's Pete and Reed, and we've been covering the story here at Skyway Animal Hospital, a disgusting story, and one that we talked about on the Friday wrap. And you know what, we had enough, we had to come down here, and as we were down here setting up, Natalie came by. Natalie, thank you so much for stopping by here.
Thank you for having me.
Taking the time. You know what? You took your dog here, right?
Yes, I did.
And you feel what happened was just crazy?
Absolutely. My mind is boggled right now because she had a seizure, but she was still very healthy dog, active,
How old?
eating. She was 6 years old.
Young pup.
Absolutely. Very full of life. I brought her here for a seizure. They put her on some seizure medication. I didn't feel like the medication was working, so I brought her back. He did the blood work, and then he said, keep her on that medication. It will work in a few weeks from now. So a couple days after the second time I brought her here, she was very sick. She was puking and stuff like that. So when I brought her, she was lifeless, and he said, she looked at her and said, that doesn't look.
They were going for 10,000 people. It was at 8,477. As of today, when I just left before we came down here, 44,000 people have signed that petition.
Right on. That's amazing. And keep going, because he should never get his license back.
You know what's going to happen is he's going to leave St. Catharines. He may leave Ontario. He may go to the U.S. I'm telling you, watch for him down there. We're going to put a picture of him. We have a picture of him. He's going to go under a different name, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty hard to find out who Dr. Smith is, because there's all kinds of them everywhere, and I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes Dr. Smith. He has to lose his license.
He does. And the College of Veterinarians has to be held accountable for not letting the animal rights groups and people like that know about this so that they could protect the animals. He should be charged criminally. This is a criminal act, and he should be charged with that. And hopefully
jail time for sure.
Jail time. I can't believe that they didn't go to the police right away with this and say, hey, charge him, do something.
Yeah. Hi, it's Pete and Reed, and we're usually about a lot of fun in our shows, and
Usually.
Getting information from guests and finding out about their life. And this is a real life story, and it's something that you and I had to get involved in. Both animal lovers.
Well, as soon as we watched it, I cried. It's just incredibly sad for all these owners and this so-called doctor. We won't call him that. We'll just call him Mr. Reiki.
Yeah, or just Reiki, right?
Yeah.
And we're of course talking about the vet at. We're standing right out in front of his office, the Skyway Animal Hospital in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And this is a story for everybody around the world who takes their animals and believes in the care they're getting from their vets. And of course, here in Ontario, their jurisdiction, they're under the College of Veterinarians, and they have imposed a penalty on them, which, in my opinion, isn't anywhere near what this man